Hi there. I am live right here on Supercharged Fridays, hopefully live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I want to know, first of all, if everything works like it should. If you are watching me live, drop in a comment, say, hey, Sonal, you are live. Could you do that for me? Because if I'm not live, then I need to fix. I'm on my mobile data, and I'll explain why I'm outside and why I'm not home and why I'm outside on the street next to the gardening people. Maybe that's my maybe that's my cue to leave and do something else. I know there's always a delay between going live and being live. So whether you're watching me on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, drop in a hi and tell me that it's working as it should work. It's working. All right. Buongiorno. Thank you for joining. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here and for your comments. Sergeant Carlisha, Stefano, um, Pushpankar, Charlotte, thank you guys for being here and telling me that it works. All right. So I am going to be live for um, about 10 minutes because I have a small little birthday party to organize for a family member. And I've literally torn myself out to ensure that I don't miss these live streams. I don't even know what week I'm in, maybe 144, 145. And I thought um, let's talk about layoffs because there's always layoffs. Layoffs have been happening since the dawn of time, but there's been a particularly huge layoff emphasis in the last couple of weeks. So, if you or a family member is going through a layoff, thank you guys for joining. Good morning, good afternoon. If you or a family member are going through layoffs, highly recommend that you show them my. Hi, Devika. Thank you for joining. It's 9 p.m. for you. Appreciate it. Highly recommend you send them this YouTube that I did. It's very open and very vulnerable YouTube video that I did. And it's not from a place of, hey, look at me. So sad. Please feel sorry for me. It's not coming from there. It's coming from a place of, hey, listen, if I'm going to be okay after not one, not two, just want to show you the street where I live. It's pretty. It's pretty. Winter. If I can be all right after 3 layoffs, anyone can be. And I'm not particularly talented. I'm not particularly intelligent. So honestly, it's here. It's a lot of it here. Layoffs suck. Let's be clear about that. A lot of it has to do with poor management, poor workforce planning, poor organization. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? Layoffs are a sign of a failure. Somewhere in the organization, it's a sign of failure. People either predicted too much growth or didn't plan accordingly, or sometimes they don't even tell people. They just email them, they call them. I've been through that stuff, trust me. On the other side, it's awful. But the point is, you can't control that. I wish you could, but you can't. You can control how you come out of it. So definitely watch that video. I bear a lot in it because those are lessons coming from personal experience. They're not, this is what you should do, second hand, third hand information. Sometimes when you really have been through something crappy, you have way more empathy in terms of how you deal with it. So I'm walking outside my street, outside my home, looking like a total maniac. So if there's any questions I can help with, I'd love to help. There's two very specific things I wanted to just mention before I go away back home inside and organize the birthday. Number one was the layoff thing. And the second thing is the latest podcast. In case any of you here listens to my podcast or wants to start listening to a podcast in general, hello, I highly recommend you start with mine. It's called How I Got Hired. And this week is a very sticky topic. We talked about workplace harassment and how a woman who's on my show, she's a guest, she's currently going through a lawsuit because it was so awful. She had to hire lawyers. So, it's not one of those, oh, this is what happened to me. And this is how I came out of it. Because most interviews, if you've noticed, when it comes to people's troubles and challenges, most interviews happen when their success has already happened and they're on the other side. She's actually going through it as we speak. And she describes in gory detail Lisa Bowman is amazing. So if you want to check it out, that's my episode 101. Just go to How I Got Hired, write my name, Sonal Behel, you'll find it. Because she also talks about how this is helping her. Even a shitty situation like this is helping her. So I think that would, I think those are two things I wanted to sort of mention today. And I'm going to quickly now see how you guys are doing. Looks like a party in the comments. Good morning, Yvonne. Nice. Thank you for joining in Canada. Speaking of Canada, right? Montreal. Layoffs are a byproduct of, yeah, you know what? This sucks. It's not like nothing that, and you know what Stefano, or also the other thing I don't like is that the people who are conducting those layoffs, nothing happens to them. They still have their jobs. And there's sort of fake empathy for people. No, unless you've been through it, unless you're, seeing that your runway is 3 months or 6 months, whatever severance they give, it's very difficult for people to really understand what it's like. So yeah, I think both are those things I wanted to mention. And if anyone has a question, feel free to ask. Just drop it in, and or drop it in YouTube as well. And if you've been through a layoff and if you have your own advice to share, happy to hear from you because I think that would help others as well. Speaking of which, right, Stefano says, I've been laid off once and it turned out to be the most liberating moment in my life. It allowed me to step back and reframe my body of work and direction. I think in hindsight, everyone will say, it just wasn't meant to be. And if they hadn't done it, maybe I would have stayed. But it's the best thing that happened. I can say that from experience. And I have not been through it once. I've been through it, like I said, more than once. So it's just one of those things where you sometimes don't have the guts to say something isn't working, but somebody else does that for you. It is a little bit of a blow to the ego because we would have liked that decision to come from us. You're fired. I quit. So instead of that, you were just, asked to let go. You were asked to leave. So, yeah. All right. It seems like there aren't any questions. I wanted to also quickly say that Stefano, who's joining us here in the comments, he and I are going to have a fantastic live stream. Oh my gosh, it's going to be such a juicy topic. It's going to be something to do with managers and leaders. Managers and leaders. What about it? You'll have to watch. Stefano is not going to share obvious tips. Hopefully you know me by now. I've been doing this for almost 3 years. I don't bring in guests who have obvious things to share. They drop something and you're like, duh, I already knew that. I don't like to bring guests like that. So Stefano's definitely going to bring his A game to Supercharged Fridays. So check that out. I think that's going to be in... my memory, I don't know. It's in my calendar. It's in 2 Fridays, I think. If not 2 or 3 Fridays from now. So I'll make sure you follow me on LinkedIn. So I'll announce that here as well. All right. Okay, cool. I have a question. Let's see. Praveen says, whenever a company lays off employees and they become unemployed and they try to get into other companies, then other companies find it as an opportunity to offer less salary as they know this employee is desperate. How do you get rid of the situation? Oi, Praveen, this is so complicated. You know what? No, I'm going to take that back. It's actually very simple. If an employee, a prospective employer wants to take advantage of the fact that you've just been laid off and offer you less money, Praveen, that's not the group you want to be a part of. I know this sounds easy. I know we have bills to pay. But what you have to see is what matters more to you. Short term, some money in the pocket. Do you have savings? Do you have some cushion? Or in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a headache because you realize, holy shit, where have I come? Pardon my French. Holy heck, where have I come? Because if this is how they treat people in the beginning, which is supposed to be when they are supposed to be on their best behavior, you know, it's just the way it is, the game. Everyone seduces each other. We're on our best behavior in the beginning. Then we get the offer. But they are not even giving you the offer and they're already behaving like this. Can you imagine what they're going to be like once you actually join the company? I wouldn't work with them. This is Easy for me to say. I'm not in your situation, but I wouldn't work with them. I would stay away because it's not going to match with your own values, right? The fact that you're even asking this question means that you feel it in your stomach that there's something wrong, and that instinct is telling you, don't ignore that instinct. It's telling you something. Okay. Early December. Oh, okay. Early December. Awesome. So I think it's two Fridays from now. Amazing. Hey, Himanshu, people are talking about recession. Is it effective in India? You got to check, Himanshu, do the maths, check the newspapers. The definitions are very clear. 2 quarters in a row where the GDP is contracting instead of increasing is technically a recession. Is India going through that? I'm not quite sure. I haven't checked. I haven't seen the news. If it is, it is. Most of the world is. Most of the world is currently. Sarjan says, I've done an MBA after my bachelor's in technology to get better pay. But there is good pay for tech. Should I learn these skills and shift the stream? Sure, Sarjan, you can. I've done a whole live stream as well as a video on whether an MBA is right for you or not. Or you already done the MBA. Okay, so that's not relevant. You can always shift, you can always change, but don't just change. Don't just chase the money. Money will come when you're good at something and you really enjoy what you do. Money will come, but don't do it because it's only about the money. Do it because you enjoy it, and when you enjoy it, you become good at it, and when you become good at it, you enjoy it. It's a very strange and funny self-fulfilling prophecy. Learn skills of things that you like. Shit, this is so much fun. Sorry, I'm cursing a lot. This is so much fun. I could do this for free. I could do this in my free time. In fact, I even help people who are going through challenges because this is interesting stuff to do. Yesterday, Claire posted a layoff game plan. Okay. Wonderful. I think I saw it as well. Thank you, Risto, for bringing that up. Hopefully, Claire has been tagged. I see her pen marks. Fab. So please check this post out. Go to Claire's page and see her activity and see the most recent post from her. So thank you, Risto, for that. That's very useful. Never rush for anything. Correct, Puneet? Absolutely. All right, last question I'm going to take, and then I'm going to get back inside to the birthday party prep. Prakash says, if we stay in India, and it impacts, but I see there are multiple openings and calls. What does it mean? I don't know. There's definitely some boom in some sectors. There's a boom, right? So I would say put some blinders on, Prakash. Don't focus too much on the doom and gloom, because I think the news also tends to, the media, the news tends to bring a lot of doom and gloom, and it's not very helpful. It's not very helpful. So don't worry too much about that. Focus on what you can control. You can control what's happening in your immediate surroundings, right? And if there's hiding going on, go ahead, do what you got to do. All right, this is the last. Hey, Ivor, is it possible that companies have a blacklist so you won't be able to work with them or any other branch? I was not laid off, but I was offered a permanent contract after 2 years. Okay, those are two different things, Ivor. The question is, do companies have a blacklist? I know some do. I'm going to put it here. Pardon me. I'm just going to put this here because I'm getting a bit tired of holding. Okay. Yes. Short answer, yes. Some companies do it. Some companies do it when they see that there's some bad behavior going on from somewhere. Oops, sorry. Where somebody said, they have their reasons. And by the way, you should have a blacklist of companies as well, where you're like, no way in hell am I ever going to work in this company. Now, it could be for different reasons. It could be that somebody said they would join, and last minute they changed their mind, but they weren't reachable, nothing. They're like, you know what? No matter what, this is unacceptable. I'm not going to be hiring this person. So there's blacklist. Or it could be something horrible that the candidate did. It could be. It could be. I have seen that personally, where I was interviewing someone and there was some lies going on, right? There was dishonesty. And I knew that the company I work in values ethics highly. They weren't one of those companies that could just say, they value like ethics, and they would put it on posters on walls, but they actually did. So I knew this wouldn't be a match. So they were gone. They were gone. All right, you're welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you for being here. Could you share employees' rights? Yeah. Kashish, check out this live stream I did. Um, just do hashtag Supercharge Fridays. And if you write the name Kolarele, Kolarele, you will find a whole live stream I did, which is dedicated to what are some rights that you have. Now, obviously, those rights vary on the jurisdiction, where you are located, which country, but we kept it as universal as possible because there are some things which are quite basic and they are applicable across the board. So I think that would help as well. When is the right time to switch jobs? Don't know. Don't know. If things are looking hard in where you are, I would say hold on if you can. Stretch that period out as long as you can, please. Don't do something you'll regret later. And it's not for anyone to say should you quit or should you not quit. There's I have a video where I talked about 6 things when you know it's time to leave. And if those 6 things are happening, I even have a podcast on it. Could you share employees' rights? Oh, okay, okay. So we talked about that already. All right, all right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I shall see you at the same time next week, 2 p.m. Central European Time at Supercharge Fridays. I'm going to go back inside and just prep the house for the little birthday party that I am organizing. Take care of yourselves and definitely check out that YouTube video that I did on layoffs, which I have made from personal experience. It was not an easy video to film. It gets emotional talking about a time I'd rather not talk about, but I know that it would help someone who's going through it because there's some truths in it from my perspective that I know helped me and helped clients of mine as well. So hopefully that helps you. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend.